All right. Okay. Now I'm the host, so I can actually see. Now, what I was kind of sorry I didn't record the very, very, very beginning, but I really haven't done much yet. But you'll see my computer here is the 10.55 network. You all see that? 10.55.10. Let me see if I can't make this. Well, trust me, it's there. Now, the other machine is 10.10.250.250. You can't see it. Does anyone know why? I'm going to take a guess why. The machine is right there. Well, it turns out that's not his IP address. His IP address is 252. No, 251. Oh, wait, don't, hold on. I'm not even in Cali. I'm in the wrong machine. Hold on. I'm in the wrong darn machine. My bad. I need to be in Cali to get this to work. Now, inside VMware, you'll see I have Cali and I have my CEH Victor machine. This is the machine you guys use for assignment 9 part 1. It's very similar to this other machine, which is assignment 9 part 2. So I'm going to go into Cali right here. You all know what the password is for Cali? Tour. So basically it's the username backwards. So the machine here you all need to get into, the hint for the administrator password is similar to Cali. That's all you need. So this machine here, what's my IP address here? Well, in Cali, you can type IPA right there, IPA, and I'll tell you, my IP address is 10.10.250.252. But I will tell you, it is not default to that. You're going to have to change it. Okay? Your IP address is going to be 192.168 something. How to change it is if you actually bring up the assignment, I actually even put it on the assignment to be nice. I actually put a web link right here on how to change your IP address. Follow this link, and it walks you through exactly, come on, you can do it. There it goes. It walks you through exactly how to do it. Steps are all here. You're actually editing this file right here. But right here where it says address, you're going to put in 10.10.250.252 like I recommend. Actually, I'll show you what mine looks like. So it's at etc. network interfaces. This is kind of stuff you have to do beforehand, and I think I actually typed it already, didn't I? Well, heck. Testing you. Good job, you passed. Okay. That's what you need to set your machine up as. Okay. You need to go in and edit that file. They tell you exactly how on that page. They will give the exact instructions. It's critical you have the subnet mask exactly like this. Do not have your subnet mask like he has it. This is a class A network. Y'all see that? Let me see if I can zoom in. Is there a zoom option somewhere? I don't know. But he has 255.0.0.0. Do not use that. You need 255.255.0.0 because that's what the target machine has. And if they don't match, you're not going to be able to connect. Okay. So set your IP address exactly like that, and you won't have a single problem. And then what you need to do, he's going to tell you down here, type this command, if down ETH0. That command will not work initially. Does anyone know why? Well, we added all this text here. This text starting with iFace for interface, we added all this. Prior to us adding it, it didn't exist. So I can't take the interface down if it doesn't exist. So just type IF up ETH0, then IF, you can do it a couple times, but yeah. You can't take it down when it doesn't exist, so bring it up and then you'll be fine, okay? And then you should be able to type IPA, just like I did right here. And it will show you your IP address. You'll still have your loopback address, but now you'll have this address as well. So now I should be able to see the other machine, which in this case is 2.50. Okay, easy enough. Okay. Now, how to get this work? Well, I made a nice little PowerPoint presentation, which I'm going to show you. Okay, a little history behind it was developed by H.D. Moore, and I spelled release wrong, but it's okay. First was written in Perl in 2003, and it handles 11 exploits. If you read about it, what he tried to do was, his job at a security company was to check for vulnerabilities on machines, make sure they were updated. So he wrote this application to do it for him. Okay? It's kind of like, if you do something one time, that's not a problem. But if you're going to do something hundreds or thousands or millions of times, would you literally do it by hand every time? No, you'd write a program to do it for you. It's kind of like, I had to add 75 usernames for this project I just created. You really think I went in there, right-hand clicked, add user 75 times? No. I just made a text file with the net user commands in them and dumped it in, done all in 1 second. So the point is, you write a program to do everything. That's what he did. Version 2 came out in 2004, had 19 exploits and 27 payloads. We'll see examples of these here in a minute. 2007 was rewritten with Ruby, which is very popular now. 2009, the Metasploit project came out, and it was bought by Rapid7, who currently owns it. They also offer an exam in it. I actually have a free voucher to take the exam. I have like 2 weeks left to do it. I haven't done it yet. I don't know what good the exam would be. I don't know. When I went to that class, they gave me an exam, a voucher. So, with that very brief history of it, Armitage is a GUI version that will run on top of Metasploit. You can use that. A lot of people like GUIs. I did not use GUI once in my last class, and the couple classes prior to that, I asked the instructor, what are your thoughts on using the GUI? He says, don't. Why wouldn't you want to use the GUI?
You can do more with the command line.
You can do more with the command line, and the GUI does stuff for you. It's like, I teach Java every semester, and every single week I have someone who uses NetBeans or Eclipse or something like that, which does all the coding and the commenting for you. And the comment it puts in there is to do, and what you're supposed to do there. So the students always leave it in there. I'm like, why are you telling me what you need to do? Why didn't you just do it? So they lose points every week because the program puts in comments that you're supposed to go back in and change, but people never do. Problem is, Armitage does a lot for you. So rather than typing in the exploit name, you can right-click and select it. The point is, you're missing out. You're not actually typing it. You're not understanding the command. You don't know what it's really doing. So I recommend using Metasploit. The instructions I got are only for Metasploit anyway. I kind of show you pictures as well of Armitage, but you don't need them. Okay. Metasploit 3 versus Metasploit 4. Metasploit 4 is the current one. Many things have changed, but it's actually gotten a lot easier. I'm going to show you some examples. Okay. To get this project to work, you need to know your IP address, your victim's IP address, and what you're going to exploit. I'm going to show you how to do all that. Okay. All right. First thing to do, in Kali, I'm in Kali, right here. I'm going to make sure I don't have it running. Let's see, do I have another instance of it running? No, I don't. Okay. In Kali, I'm going to click on Applications, Exploit Tools, and Metasploit, or you can just literally type Metasploit, and it will start running. Okay. You give it a minute, and it'll actually come up with this. The cool thing about it is every time you do this, it comes up with a different screen. So it's already telling the database is already running, so it's skipping the initialization of the database, and now it's starting Metasploit. If you're walking through my Assignment 9 Part 1 exercises, the first 5 steps are now handled automatically for us. So go down the steps until you get to the point where it says MSF. So now Metasploit is running. Every time you run it, it has a different little stupid ASCII art picture in there. So, you know, handles 1577 exploits, so it does all kinds of stuff for us. Kind of nice, okay? So that's what we did here. We just started the tool. We started what's called the Metasploit framework. Everybody with me so far? We really did nothing but click an icon. Okay. Now, what we want to do is show the exploits that are available to us. So inside of Metasploit, again, I literally put every single command in here so you can't mess them up. Show exploits. Give it a minute. and it's going to show you a ton of them. Come on, you can do this. There's a lot. There's 1,577, obviously, so it's going to take a minute. And they're actually all organized, which makes it very nice. Come on. Now, while this is doing this, Metasploit Pro, there is a 30-day trial, which is very nice. It is all GUI now, but you can still put in the commands. But what's cool about it is you can actually go onto your network and you say, every Monday morning at 8 o'clock, I want to scan this entire network, find all the machines, look for all the exploits, and exploit them, just to see if you're vulnerable. And it's like, it can literally do all of it for you, and it's crazy. So these are all the exploits available. There's tons of them. For instance, there's a process exec vulnerability with SMB for Windows. Okay, there's the date of it. They have tons of them on here. Okay, you can go through this list. You can actually take these numbers and go on the internet and search for them, which I'll show you the one we're going to use. But they'll even tell you this is the date they came out. Are they average? Are they excellent? What they're talking about is, hey, if you have this exploit, there's a pretty good chance it's going to work for you. Or there's an excellent chance it's going to work for you. Or there's a great chance it's going to work for you. Okay? So now you can run Nmap with the -SV, which would then return the version of the computer you're connecting to, is how you would figure out if you have what software is on there. But that's a whole nother story. We can do that another time if you want. My plan is, room 131 downstairs, my old office, is going to be a cyber lounge lab. It's being painted today. Putting carpet in next week, maybe 2 weeks. I'm going to put a whole bunch of machines in there. It's going to be like 8 of them. And my plan is to have a whole bunch of machines with exploits on them. So you got, excuse me, you guys can go in there and start playing with this stuff and exploit stuff, and just don't worry about screwing anything up. So that's what I want to do. Okay. So lots of exploits. Okay. Now, I gave some examples here. Here's an SSH vulnerability. We know SSH. What does SSH replace? Telnet. Huh. But it's also vulnerable because there happens to be a buffer overflow issue in this current version. Okay. There's SMB relay. There's an FTP. There's all kinds of them available. I was in that class. I don't know if I told you all last time, but the guy was talking about, did I tell you about the exploit on switches? I wasn't aware of this. The guy was telling us about switches. You know, like you get a switch for your house. Do you know what happens? You know how a switches actually segment your traffic. So if traffic comes in on one port, it's segmented from another port. But switches normally can handle 4,000 MAC addresses. In other words, they keep a list of every device traveling through them. What do you think happens when they reach that 4,000 limit? They fail open. They turn into a hub. Then instantly every port can see every port. So what if you made a script using hping 3 to generate 4,000 MAC addresses, run that real quick, and boom, instantly the entire switch is vulnerable. You can see everything on every port. I mean, it was like crazy. And he picked a random NetGear switch off the internet. Sure enough, if you read the specifications, it fails open at 4,000. It's like, wow, it's crazy stuff. But we're going to use this bottom one here just because I know it works for this exercise. But the point is, you try these. They're not hard to try. And if it doesn't work, try another one. Okay, so we're going to use this bottom one. Okay, now I just took the number MS0326 and put it on the internet. It comes up and tells me there's a TechNet bulletin about it. Tells me this affects server 2003, server NT4, XP, and 2000. So obviously the machine I'm running is server 2003. So obviously there's a very good chance I can exploit this one. Use tells Metasploit to use the exploit. You like that? Okay. So I need to type this command here. And how am I going to get both on the same screen at the same time? It's going to be tough. I need to see the command. Okay, it's use Windows DCER. I have 2 screens downstairs. This is not fair. Use Windows, DCERP, is that right? DCERPC, ERPC, MS, MS, it was 03_26, wasn't it?
Yeah. 026.
026. Okay, anybody remember the rest of it? DCOM. Is that it? Let's make sure that's the whole command. Use Windows decom. Okay, now if I hit enter, what will happen is my prompt will change. Get rid of the screen. There we go. Now we're showing them actually using that exploit. Okay. So next one down, show targets, shows which machines it's going to work on. So I'm going to go show targets. Good to go. I'm running Windows 2000, so we should have no problem on this. Or Windows 2003, so should have no problem on this one. Okay. Then show payloads will show me all the different payloads available for it. Now, the instruction sheet for the pen testing assignment does go more into depth about what all these commands do, so you can look them up, okay? So it shows all the different payloads we can use, and then this one I'm going to be using set payload, Windows interpreter, okay. Interpreter, MERTERP, PRETER, P. And it was, where'd it go? Need this one. I didn't even think about it not being on the screen at the same time. Reverse_TCP. So that's the payload I'm going to use. Now again, you can try all of these. You can go up and try each one. Okay. M-E, MER. What's wrong?
Get rid of that R. Yeah.
There we go. Interpreter. Okay. This should come up and connect. Okay, perfect. Okay. So that's my payload. Now we're going to show the options available for it. Okay, so for this specific one, takes R host, remote port, local host, and local port. Okay, obviously the ports are already filled in. You'll notice the R host is not filled in at this point, so we need to fill those in. So my remote host is 10.10.250.250. Set R host 10.10.250.250. Okay, I can type show options again, and we'll show you that now it actually has an R host option. So far, so good. L host 251. 250.251. Show options again. Spell options correctly. There you go. Now we have our R host and our L host all set. Now we're going to do exploit. Let's do exploit. If everything's correctly, it should connect to that machine and come up with an interpreter prompt. It didn't work. Can we look at that and tell me what's wrong with it? Anybody got an idea? Well, if you read starting at the very beginning, there's a red X, a red line. You see that? Starting right here, handler failed to bind. What's it tell me? It couldn't open this port on this machine. So which one is 251? Is 251 the remote host or the local host? It's the local. So that's me. So why can't I open my own port? Well, do I happen to have another version of terminal running? Well, I don't, so I'm going to open another terminal window. Oh, my IP address is not 251, it's 252. So obviously I couldn't set the local to a machine that's not me. So in this case, now I can, even though I messed it up, I can literally go back to the set lhost, change it to 252, now show options, now it's 252, now I can exploit it. Oh, it connected this time. You notice how it's got the start? Now I have an interpreter prompt. So in other words, I'm connected between me and the other machine. We have an active connection up, okay? I actually did it by accident downstairs, but I thought it was a great example to show. So I did that. I set the host. Now I exploit it. We're in. So what do you mean we're in? Well, if I type get UID, my server username is NT authority system. What does that mean? Does anybody? Right there at the bottom? I am connected to that machine running as a Windows system. That's above administrator. That's like the Windows system itself. I am root, pretty much. I'm above root. I am it. I am Tron or whatever that guy was. Okay. So you agree that we are connected with an actual user permission, not really an account, but let's type PS. Let's see what processes are running. All kinds of stuff's running on that machine. These are all the processes running on the actual Windows machine. Because I'm running Linux. Obviously, I'm not running winlogin.exe on my machine. You agree with that? So these are all the processes running on that machine. Look over here. There's actually a screensaver running even. If you happen to look at my machine here, well, looky there. There is an actual screensaver running. Okay. So I can run PS, I can run sysinfo, and look at that. It even comes up and tells me I'm running, the computer name is Win2K3DC. Something like that might become very handy later. My OS is Windows.NET Server, build 3790. Now, just because we're running Server 2003, that is the same machine. Okay, it's just that the way Microsoft actually lists them is different. Okay, so far so good. Okay, now I want to execute a command. There's a command called execute that uses the -F, which means which command are we going to execute on the other side. And then -C is the channel. So we need to do that. We're going to go execute -F CMD -C. That's the channel. I need to create a channel between me and it. Good. Now I have process 2948 created on channel 1. Now if I do PS again, you'll notice 2948 is now running. Y'all see that? That was not there a minute ago, because if we go back up, there was no 2948 right there at the end. So that's a brand new process. See how it's not here? There's no 2948. We have 2060, 2080, then 3112. Go down here. We have 2060, 2080, a new process, 2948, which is command.com or exe, then our screensaver. So we have a new process. Now, here's something that is really gonna, I guarantee some people have issues, is why I'm putting this on here. Well, the next command according to my instructions is interact X, where X is the channel number, okay? So what was my channel number? Anybody remember? My channel number is 1. Y'all see that right there? So I'm gonna say interact 1. No such command. So what do I do? Do I go home and cry and complain and message Ken 20 minutes before it's due and say I can't complete it? There's actually a help command. Type help. Okay, I did this. I'm like, great. Because that literally the command changed within Metasploit 4. It was available in Metasploit 3, obviously. So I was looking through here, and I just went to the very top where it started. Oh, wait a minute. There's something called channel. What am I supposed to be doing with interact? Interacting with a channel. So I'm going down here, and I'm going to type channel. Okay. Okay. I didn't put any options, so I just typed the word channel. Oh, channel -I to interact with a given channel. Isn't that what I want to do? -I, what was my channel number? 1. Looky there. Am I not sitting inside of a Windows System 32 directory? Now I can type dir. Doesn't that look like a Windows System 32 directory? I can go to config. Oh look, there's the SAM file. What's stored in the SAM file? Passwords. I can go down a couple directories. I can see what's in the rooted C drive. I can go to documents. So I can see, oh, we got a user called S. Mendez. I can travel in the entire OS, just like, well, I am. I'm actually in the machine. Y'all agree at this point I'm actually in Windows, even though I'm not in Windows? Okay. All right. So I put that in there. Interface was with the Metasploit 3. Type help. It gives you some commands. So now we use that. Now we can do Control-C to close our channel. Get rid of channel 1? Yes. You know what? I like that channel. So I can bring it back just by executing it again and then go back into channel 2. So it's not hard to create a new channel. Okay? You can actually make multiple channels. Then you would just change your interact command to connect to different channels, because you could have one channel with a command prompt, one channel doing this. Think of like multiple desktops. Each one would just be connected on different channels. Okay? So we get rid of our channel right there. Okay? Now what now? Let's look at some of the other commands. Help. Okay, let's scroll up a little bit. What if there was a webcam installed on that machine? I can immediately start the webcam just by typing webcam_chat. Isn't that scary? Very scary. What if they had a microphone? I can literally record the microphone for 10 seconds and it'll save it right to my machine. Done. What if I want to get a screenshot? Let's try it. Let's command a screenshot. Okay, saved it to my directory. It's called root. It's VJBY. I'm going to go over here. Oh, look, VJBY. Looks like a Windows screensaver, doesn't it? See how that works? I gotta admit, that's pretty darn cool.
Scary cool.
Yeah, it is. It's very scary cool. You can do so much more with this tool. It's like, wow. Okay. And I listen. I said, you know, there's a screenshot. Looks like a screensaver to me. Oh, I want to get some passwords. Hash dump. There you go. I have every password I have the hash of every password on the system. Then I can very, you know, my resolution's kind of messed up. They're normally on one line. This is the username, G Washington. This is like the user ID, and this is the hash right here. You need this whole right up to there. I think it's the whole thing, but it's one of the, but yeah, there's the hashes. So you can very easily get the hashes. Then you can bring that. You can import these very easily right into Kane. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. You can actually take the SAM file and actually import the SAM file straight into Kane. Or you can use pwdump to export the SAM file. There's all kinds of different applications you can use to get this stuff done. Okay? Simple enough to do. Okay? You can actually set up keyloggers. I mean, there's literally so many things you can do. Yeah. Okay, record a mic. There it is, key scan, dump the keyboard buffer. You can literally start the keyboard keylogger, then stop it, and dump it out to a file. And it'll literally dump right to a text file, every single key that I typed on their machine. And you, on the other end, wouldn't know nothing, because you're not going to see anything. You won't even know if they did a screen capture. You wouldn't see anything on your end. Okay? You can get their desktops. You can even create a shell. Yes, sir.
Would this show up in like network traffic?
It would show up as network traffic, yes. What you would see is you would see a direct connection between the two machines, but you'd see one on port, I think it was 135, and the other one on 4444, whatever the port. You'd just see this traffic. You wouldn't know what it was. Would it be encrypted? I do not think so. I can't guarantee that. I didn't test that. There you go. But there's so, you could literally remote. You could Okay, think about it. We've already saw that we can go into the Windows directory. You can actually write a file to it. So you can actually write something into the sysvol share into the login scripts, reboot their machine remotely, automatically starts from that point on. There's just so many things you could do. You could kill the process. Okay, so yeah, it's just pretty scary. You could shut it down. You could steal their tokens for their authentication. Just wow, it's just amazing what you can display. Let's try ARP. Now what I'm doing is I'm actually displaying their ARP table. It's just amazing all the stuff we could do on here. Okay, where was it? ARP, get proxy. You can check their IP configuration. You can set up port forwarding. Whoa. You could install Netcat on their machine. You could do all kinds of stuff. You could run netstat. Actually, let's run netstat. N-E-T-S-T-A-T. That is their machine, so they should currently have a connection out. Maybe it's 137, because they do have one. So I thought it was 135. So they're listening on 135. But there's just all kinds of crazy, bizarre stuff you could do with their machine. You could delete a directory, you could remove a directory, you could create a directory, you could put a file in there, you could upload a file. Like I said, you could literally create something on their desktop. Okay. All right. You could explain, show the contents of a directory. So was that simple enough? I mean, you can use Armitage, but I will tell you so many people had an issue with Armitage because it's the way you got to right click and do this and select that. It's just, what commands were there? Exploit, and it was like nothing. It was very, very few commands is what we used. Okay, let's go back here real quick. So once we started it, assuming we already knew the exploit, we literally used the exploit, assume we already knew the target. So we use the exploit, set the payload, set the R port, R host, L host, then execute or exploit. And that's it, we're done. So it's really not much. And you can very easily change exploits, but you tell them when we got here, you can pretty much do everything. Okay? Everybody understand? Any questions from anybody?
So if you were trying to get into a newer operating system, there would be less vulnerabilities?
Right, there'll be a lot less vulnerabilities.
So like server 2012?
What you would do, now this one here, when we showed the exploits, those are all the exploits that Metasploit knows about. This didn't tell me that they were available on that machine. What you would need is something like Nessus. See, that's actually a very good question. Let's go in here and don't have another terminal somewhere here. Let's go here. I'm doing nmap SV. We'll do just the 1,000 ports, and let's do, what's our machine, 10.10.250.250? I think it is. Okay. So nmap-sv does a version scan. What's -f do? Anybody but Brian? It's a fast scan. Scans the common 1,000 ports only. Okay? You cannot use like -f and then -p80. You can't tell to do port 80 fast. It doesn't work that way. Okay? So let's give this thing a minute. It should come up. Now it is scanning quite a few ports, so it's going to take a few minutes. Actually, you know what? Let's do this instead. Let me do this. So instead of -f, this time I'm actually going to do -p for port. I just want to scan port 80. So I want to know what's running on port 80. Now I can't connect any DNS, but that's fine. I could really care less. So it came up right here and told me this is running on port 80, TCP. The service, the status is open. The service is HTTP, and I'm running IIS HTTPD 6.0. So if I'm going to look for an exploit, I'm going to look for an exploit for IIS 6.0. Is that how that works? And you can go, let's go over here. Let's go to IIS 6.0. Okay. Exploiting, it'll probably tell you exactly which one to use. Come on, tell me the, really, I want to go to Rapid 7 actually. Hold on. There it is. Rapid 7 is the people that bought out Metasploit. And there it is. There's an actual upload for it, or an actual issue for it. It'll tell you the references to it, and they should tell me a number. Yeah, there's even exactly how to use it. I mean, what more could you possibly want?
Search for that version string.
Yes, you can. But look at that. It literally tells me the exact command, show the targets, set options, and exploit. Done. Yes, sir.
Could you only do this on a local network, so like a computer that's on the same network?
Oh, no. You know how you're in forensics, you know how you did the unknown password breaking? As long as you have the IP address and there's a port open, you could do it across the country. So you could do it anywhere. And that's my goal, believe it or not, is actually, there's a couple of things we're planning on doing very quickly. Give you guys the ability to do more externally. Obviously, like the online password breaking, you all could do it from home. But also, we're going to be integrating a VPN. And we talk about VPNs. How many of you have actually used a VPN? Very few people. A couple of you have. But would it be nice if you see the word and you actually use it? You know what it actually does? So that we can allow you to do more stuff like this. We're trying to get more real world stuff. Okay? But I mean, come on. What more could you possibly want than they tell us exactly how to exploit it? And you can actually download their code. Where's their code? Somewhere on here you can download their code. And then even if they don't have one yet, they can even assist you in making one. See, here's where you can get Metasploit Pro. I think this is Metasploit Pro, isn't it? Yeah, download Metasploit Pro. They should show you screenshots of it somewhere. I don't know. But kind of cool stuff. Okay. So, yeah, I showed you how to do that. Let's see what else is running. Let's see if something's running on port 8080. Actually, when specifying a port in this, you can actually do a range. Actually, let's do 1 through 80. So we should get, if Telnet's up, we'll get it. We're going to get probably 53. Well, actually, I don't know if I'm running DNS. So now I'm actually scanning 80 ports. So I'm doing port 1 through 80. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. So 21, I get FTP running. We know there was an exploit for FTP. We saw it already. Look, I got Telnet running, I got SNMP running, I got DNS running, I got HTTP running, and I even know the exact version numbers of these things. So I can very easily take this string right here. Can I copy that? And let's see if I can't find a vulnerability for this. Come on, where's this? There, it's right there. I spell it wrong? Oh, well. Just put that in. Well, okay, let's do it this way then. There you go. We know there's a vulnerability. Oh, that's on IIS-6. Oh, because that's what SMTP runs on this. SMTP does run inside of the IIS infrastructure, doesn't it? I think it does. So if you clicked on this, even tell you all about it. Well, oh, yep, it's inside of IIS-6. But it's just kind of crazy the amount of stuff they have. Any other questions? Y'all agree it's easy to do? So is anybody having a problem with their pen testing assignment this week? Has anyone done it yet? But now you can start at least. You guys should have done the version, the part 1, but I just did. This, by the way, was part 1. except I just didn't break the passwords. And I didn't actually do a keylogger. Okay? All right, and when you're done with this, so is there any other commands you want to try while I head it up?
Yeah.
What do you want to try?
Migrate to a different process.
What's the exact command?
You need to use PS to get us.
Actually, you know, I want to try one real quick. Hold on. Hold on. I'm on a calculator. Okay. Okay. No. I won't be able to interact with it because calculator is a GUI application, so I won't be able to do anything with it. Yeah, that's fine. But I should still be able to see it, and calculator should now be running in here somewhere. Let's see, calculator.
Did you just stop it?
Did I actually stop it? I stopped the channel. I didn't think that would stop the actual application. Oh, there's calculator. Okay, and we got a process 3880. What do you want me to do with it?
Migrate 3880. Whatever that.
So it's migrating 772 into 3880. Is that what you want to see? Yeah, so it works. There's a way you can interact with a GUI like calculator, but I can't remember exactly what it, but it does. It will not pop up on your screen for interaction.
What did the migrate command do?
Let's see exactly what it does. It migrates the server instance to another process. So my connection to it has now been migrated to this one, if I remember right. Is that correct? Yeah. So if I was to kill,
And meter trigger is now a child process of count DXC. So whatever.
oh, I can't quit that one because that's me. So there's actually something which, if someone would like me to speak about, when there's something called strings. Has ever heard of strings? Someone email me, remind me, and I'll actually put a quick presentation together about strings. Because, for instance, we have calculator. I don't know what calculator is. Did you know that there's actually a resource fork which you can attach something to calculator? Like you can attach a Word document to calculator. And you can execute it with Word, but no one will be able to see it. So say you got, say, 5 gigs available on your hard drive, and I attach a 2 gig file to calculator. How much space will I have left? 3 gigs, except you won't know where the files are. It's kind of weird. If someone reminds me, I'll actually put a presentation together. It's pretty amazing. It's called Strings. It's based on resource forks that actually came from Macintosh. It's kind of a cool thing. And yeah, it's, yes, sir.
Can you use Metasploit for like Linux machines?
Oh yeah, you can use wait, hold on, you can. You can. Oh, we gotta hold on, we gotta get onto this one. It's not exploits, is it? Show. I just typed it in the command, hold on. Show exploit. It was exploits. Oh, probably because of, yeah, I was inside the exploit. I couldn't show a good point. I couldn't show an exploit from. Actually, I'm still in an exploit, so I probably still have to quit.
Did you also do the search?
Search one.
Like doing a search for like what he was saying.
Oh, I just killed the whole. Hold on a minute. I just killed everything. I think I lost my whole life. Is it shutting down or something? Because I did. I literally lost everything.
I think you placed your.
Oh, there it is.
MSF.
NSF console. I have one more.
No. I closed everything. That's not fair. Hold on. Okay. Show exploits. Yeah, because that's a very good question. Oh, very nice. What is that picture of? It's a little ninja guy. Come on. Show me the exploits.
So what did the notch do? Like the no operations? Like it says it's got 8 notch.
I do not know. I've never played with that. But okay. So we got Windows. Hold on. There was one I wanted to show you. Okay. This is alphabetical.
The easy way to rust.
Look, Solaris, OS X, multiple operating systems. Linux was on the list somewhere. Linux. So whoever asked that question, yes, you can do the same thing with tons of them. There's all Linux vulnerabilities. So there's a tool called Nessus, which we do not use. Maybe we need to start using it, which is a vulnerability scanner. It's really, really good. Nessus used to be a commercial tool. It still is, but you can get a free trial. And if you have a student email account, I think it's free for life. I think, unless it's changed. Yeah, just put in your student information in there. What Nessus will do, it will scan your network, find the machines that are vulnerability, and actually even tell you which patches are needed to fix the vulnerability and install the patches, if I remember right, depending on the version of it, which is an awesome tool. But you could very easily run it and find out exactly which exploit you need to run with Metasploit. So why do you build Metasploit? Was it to break into people's machines? No, it was really to test these vulnerabilities. Hey, there's a problem with it. Let's see if it's actually vulnerable and scan our network and try to prove it to people. So,
What do you do with the payloads? Is that like actually writing the thing? Or?
the payloads is what actually runs in memory and gives us, you know, all those different commands we were running. That's part of the payload. What can you do with this? You can run all these different things. Not every exploit has the same payloads. So the exploit we use just happened to have a very large payload with all kinds of capabilities, but there are some that have a lot less. We just use a very, a crazy one. Look, Adobe Flash, imagine that. There's exploits for it. Android's right here. There you go. Let's see if iOS is on the list. I don't know why we're checking because we know it's not. You can actually see it on the website too.
Well, you can also go to Metasploit so you use or share.
No, it's too much work. F, hold on. Oh, IRIX, no iOS. That's weird. So there's Android problems, but not iOS.
I think it said something by Apple up top.
Hey, hush. Whoever said that, you're fired. Darn it, there is one. Shit. Should have. All right, who said that? You're fired. Oh, there you go. Yeah, so they have to be jailbroken to get in there. So, all right. Yes. So, mobile, email, whatever the heck that is, and then Safari. So, all right. Firefox. There's probably some Chrome in here somewhere. All right, we're about up to an hour, so at least give you an idea of how this stuff all works. Go play with it. I mean, if you want, and if you're not enrolled in the class that's currently using these two images, I am totally fine sharing them with you. And you can play with them all day long. I have obviously the one I'm connected to right now, which you can see, but I have another one, an XP Pro image that I made for the actual class project. If you email me, I'll email you back the link. Then you can start playing with it. I mean, it's just, come on, that's pretty cool when you're in a machine remotely and seeing all that stuff. That way you get a heads up on the assignment for the summer or the fall whenever you take the class. All right? All right, I think we're done. Everybody happy? All right, it's been exciting. Yeah, there's actual link to where the machine is right there. All right, let me close all these out. See, we never even had to log into the machine. We got all that information. Get it to go to sleep. Is it going to sleep? Yeah. All right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And And I think, there we go. Was there any chat messages? I didn't see any. Whoops. Yeah, exactly. Whoops. All right. End meeting. End meeting for all. Bye, everybody.